Alright YouTube, what's the story? It's Example. Welcome back to another video. Thank you very much for clicking on the video. And in today's video, I go through my 442 post-patch custom tactics in FIFA 22. What a day to be alive. New patches came out. Is it good? It hasn't really changed a lot, but it has changed some things, which I'm going to go through as I go through my custom tactics. Now, I've kind of changed up some ways I'm going to be doing the custom tactics because I see my watch time, and it's all the way down there. So I'm going to basically mess everything up, and then I'm going to fix it as we go. Do I like the patch? It hasn't really changed much, as I said. I'll go through it as we go through the custom tactics. Are you ready? Okay, ladies and gents, so here you can see the 4-4-2 drill. All right, this is the formation that I'm changing it for. So I've changed everything to constant pressure and all that jazz, and we're going to go down the list and change it ourselves. So for defensive style, we click on balance. Okay, easiest one to do. Again, I don't really have any need for anything else. I think my own press is fine with second man press and stuff. All right, so the width that I have chosen is, I think it's 50. Yeah, it was 50. All right, 50 is what it is. Jeez, I nearly have to remember. I should have probably took a picture of these. If I mess this up, this is sad. Anyway, 50, I think it's just nice and balanced. There's nothing really wrong with it. I think previously I had it at 40, but that was just, you see where the fullbacks are there. The reason it's 40 is it left them in a really good position to counter against finesse shots. People will do less finesse shots now, albeit if I'm playing against somebody pay to win, they'll probably try a lot anyway. But I've upped it to 50 to just help people out on the byline, because the byline itself is tough to deal with. When people try and run down that wing and go by the byline, it becomes very difficult to defend. So I went from 40 to 50 because less threat from a finesse shot coming in and more threat from the wings. So 50 is fine. You could even argue 55. But I'm going to keep it at 50 for now, and then I'll see as we go. And I have played quite a few games from the tuning as well, not just a patch, but the tuning that took place with the finesse shots. I played last night from 1 o'clock until 4 in the morning. It's 3 hours of games. Yes, I know, I'm a grinder. Anyway, all right, depth is one thing I definitely haven't changed, okay? 40 is what it will stay. 40 is just easy. 40 is happy. We're happy here. This is fine. There's no point in putting it up, because depth this year is basically non-existent. It stays the same from the patch previous. Let's just keep on moving. My build-up play, again, is just balanced. We're keeping it nice and simple over here. Balanced is what it is, okay? Balanced is fine. We'll take that. Again, long ball is an option, but not for me. If you want to check out my past custom tactics video where I go through why not, do. All right? So chance creation, forward runs is awful. Possession is too slow for me. Balance is just right. Okay, now balance again, I don't see any of these being very useful, so balanced it is. Width on the 442 is this. Okay, we have went from, I think previously it was 60 on the attack, but now we're going to put it down to 45 actually, because we're not looking for that finesse anymore, and I'd rather my center mids be slightly tighter on the attack, because my midfielders aren't great at passing short. They're not great at like mid-range passing. Obviously the R1 and square is really good still, but this is what I just find to be better. The 60 was too wide, but the 45 is nice. But this is only the width of my strikers and center mids that I'm really worried about. I think because you're going to see in a minute what I've done to my left and right mid. I just wanted my strikers and my center mids to be slightly more central, and this allows me to do that. Players in box, I have upped it from 3 to this 6. The reason for that is now running down the wings and looking for an R1 and X is going to become way more viable the more that finesse shots and long shots in general are kind of weaned out of the game, okay? So I just find that this way, you can see it there, 3 across there, R1 and X in, it leaves you with a very good chance of getting the ball to feet inside the box with plenty of bodies to pass it around to. I genuinely think this is the best. If not, 3 is the best, because there's less people and you still have 2 men in the box to look for that R1 and X. But 3 is just a little bit worse off than 6 in this scenario, especially for me. Okay, we'll move on to corners. I like 2. All right, 2 is fine. Again, counters are so horrible this year that I think 2 is fine. 2, you have 1 front post, 1 in the middle. You can either go back post or near post in this case, and I like to do both. So we're going to leave it at that. And free kicks still 1 because they're useless. You just pass it short anyway. All right, so let's get into the instructions real quickly. What we have in the strikers is the exact same as previous. Just stay forward. I don't like getting behind, although it can be useful. I would rather trigger my own runs. If you don't like to trigger your own runs, I would recommend that at least one of these guys be on getting behind, if not both. It is good. Getting behind is good, especially this year. It drives back that defensive line of your opponent, and they just don't know how to fix it, I guess, because the defense just does not pick back up, and they stay beside the keeper. It's horrible. Anyway, we'll move on to the center mid. Stay back and cover center on both of these bad boys. Just leave them as it is. They're there to keep the center safe, and that's it. All right, cover center as well, obviously, but these are there to just make sure nothing gets through the middle. And on the wing, I have changed one thing. Basic defense support, I'm not really looking for them to come back too much. Getting behind still. But because I wanted the center mids very narrow, all right, not very narrow, but more narrow, I wanted these guys to still stay wide. So I have chance creation on stay wide and getting behind. Because I think wing play is going to be really important now, isn't it? With the patch and stuff like that. Going down the wings and kind of finding a cutback or going by the byline is going to be very powerful. So I have decided to stay wide is probably the best option for me. It's just really good. Stay wide over here as well. The same with Ronaldo. I could even get into the box for him, but then he'd be leaving me too exposed on the left wing. So I've just left it as is. So stay wide, getting behind on the wingers. The center backs I haven't touched. I actually might even bring him into a comes for crosses, which could be useful. I'm going to leave that unbalanced though. Okay, we'll leave that as it is because I do want him to come for crosses. The right back is stay back while attacking still. I still don't see any real need for that to be changed. I think, and I upgraded to inform Theo Hernandez, which is a good pull as well. But yeah, boys, that looks like what it is, all right? So very minimal changes, but changes all the same. Very important minimal changes and things that you should be looking out for in your game post-patch. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Again, if you want me to do any other formations with the tiny tweaks that will change your game post-patch, do let me know. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Example. Good luck.